Hello, breadheads.
Hello, breadheads. The red light is blinking in the booth, and we are recording live from not Subway. I'm in my car. Where are you, Eric?
I'm in the studio as always, Ty, and I missed this, Ty. It's been a week, maybe over a week. It's been a week and a half since we last linked and built over a foot long. How are you doing?
I'm doing so good. It's so fresh to talk to you on Saint Veggie Patties Day. Everyone is out there celebrating. All the breadheads getting extra lettuce and extra spinny on their sandwich today. Less being
Exactly.
pinched.
Yeah, they're offering the green bread at the Subway these days. Um, kind of looks a little bit, torched, but it's better than green beer. I'll tell you that much.
Damn, I'm gonna go try to find a green beer tonight. I've never had one. I've only had brown beer and a little bit of orange beer. And I like that
Oh,
beer stays in the natural tone category. I would consider
hmm
green to be a part of that.
hmm yeah, it's kind of like a fall offering at a Starbucks. It's
Hmm.
like brown, a lot of browns and oranges playing into the color palette. I had a brown beer today, Ty. It looked like a Coca
Hmm.
Cola, and it tasted like one too. It was very delicious. I was very happy with it. It's kind of like a
Was it
Guinness, but
an
on the lighter
amber
side.
ale? A brown ale?
It was a brown ale. Isn't all
The
beer
rye of
technically an
beer.
ale?
I think so. So I love brown ales, Eric, because they just have this like they have I feel like they have been protected from the craft beer renaissance. They don't get any attention. Nobody likes them. They taste pretty good,
Mm,
but they're kind of a sleeper, you know?
mm. Yeah, you're right. Brown ales, they've like somehow escaped the whole like stand culture around beer because like every other beer has like a persona attached to it. Like you have the
Mm,
IPA guy, the lager loser.
hmm.
You have the Pilsner one as well. Like I'm just thinking about like dudes who are obsessed with Pilsners. Like that's
Oh
totally
yeah.
a vibe.
Yeah, Pilsner's dudes are some of the worst beer drinkers. They're obsessed with getting head, you know? And I I don't know what's up with that.
Pilsners, that's more of like a Guinness thing, isn't it? Like getting the nice head on a beer. Because the head is like, it's like a long neck type of vibe.
Right. I think with Pilsner guys, it's actually about getting no head. They strive to get no head on their beer. So they do the slow pours, right? So that there's no
Hmm
CO2, so that there's no head. And that's the ideal situation for a Pilsner Poppy.
hmm
But a
Pilsner
brown
Poppy.
ale, Eric, a brown ale is like, I think of an old man when I think of a brown ale. He's sad, he's drinking alone, he's at a bar, but he has no one to socialize with, and he
hmm
consistently orders the brown ale.
hmm I think the brown ale or any kind of like dark beer is the final frontier for anyone who is a beer enjoyer. Because like,
Mm,
remember when you were a kid and you had your first beer and you were like, "This is nasty. I don't know. I can't believe adults drink this shit." And then like you start drinking lagers, like the Budweisers of the world, the Bud Lights,
mhm,
and eventually you're like, "Whoa, what the hell is this IPA business?" And then you have a sip of that, you're
mhm,
like, "What the fuck? This is nasty." And then eventually you start to like it. So everything is kind of like an acquired taste. There's like an acquired taste spectrum, and I think
mhm,
dark beer is like at the very end because like I've always
mhm.
hated Guinness until I started like growing pubes, and then I was like, "Oh fuck, Guinness is awesome."
Dude, totally. It's like once you go black, you never go back.
Quite literally, Ty. It's the blackest beer.
Um, Brown ale though has it sits at the very fine. It's like the final boss of beer drinking, where you almost regress to a simple beer. And millennials don't like brown beer because millennials don't want to eat or drink anything that's just named after a color. It's not aspirational enough. And brown is the least aspirational color. Like
Hmm.
if it was a rosé beer, they would be all over it. I certainly would be.
Yeah, a froze offering as well could be a little bit more
Mhm.
enticing. Yeah, I'm with you. But anyways, this brown beer was a great lunch beer as well. I think like lunch beer is like something I want to tap into more. You know what I mean? Something I used to do quite a lot. Um, but specifically like dark Guinness types of beers. I
Hmm.
don't know if this is a well-known fact, but my dad told me it, so I believe it. He said that like
Mm.
back in the day when people didn't have a lot of money to spend on both lunch and a beer, they would drink Guinness because it's kind of like both. It like fills you up in like a lunch kind of way.
Mm. That makes a lot of sense. It's pretty
It does.
thick, and it's a low percenty too, so you don't get too buzzed,
Hmm. Yeah,
which
it's
means you
not
can
too,
still
it's not
drive a
too bad.
forklift or like operate a crane.
Yeah, you can do most things. You can drive home from the Irish pub. Like a lot of
Mhm.
machinery handling can happen
Yeah.
after any amount of Guinness.
Damn. Well, that's
Wow.
awesome. I've been having a lot of lunch beers lately because, for the same reason that I've been missing so many podcasting episodes.
Oh yeah, we got to
I'm
address how I saved Ty from the cartels.
yes, my lunch beers and podcast misses is not due to rehab. It's actually due to vacation.
Hmm.
And
A
uh,
digital rehab of sorts.
oh, in a ways, yeah. I had many a cerveza in Mexico this week, Eric. And those are very light. They're very crushable. So it's almost
Hmm.
encouraged to drink more of them because you don't want to get like a heat headache. You don't
Hmm.
want to over toast
That
yourself in
heat
the sun. You got
headache.
to stay hydrated, and the only way to do that is with a Modelo or a Tecate
Hmm. Or a Borg.
or a Borg. Yeah, we should talk about Borg a little bit here. It is a green drink, technically. Will you be
Is it?
downing Borg tonight?
I will be borging something uh, this weekend. I don't know what it will be, but yeah, the drink itself sounds pretty enticing. Um, but I don't want to. I don't want to get off of this beer topic just yet.
Okay, we'll come back to Borg. We'll circle
We're gonna
Borg.
circle back. Yeah, and we're not talking about the Grammy-winning musician Bjork. This is a
No.
different thing here. But
Mm-hmm.
Ty, we made a bet before you went on vacation that um, well, it wasn't a bet; it was a competition. Who would be more effective? And you had to drink drinks. I had to complete 15-minute increments of physical activity. Did you keep track this whole time?
You know I did, King. I kept track of every drink I could remember drinking
Wow.
over the last 8 days. And I have a number
Hmm.
for you. Do you have a number for how many 15-minute increments of exercise you completed?
I sure did. Let me just add it up right now. I got okay. I think I got it.
Wait, I need to settle a technicality first. Are you counting the Tuesday and Wednesday that we dreamed up this bet as a part of your list, or are you considering it from my vacation day onward?
Hmm. I was initially counting all of it, and I think I want to keep it that way because I had a big day that day.
Me too. All right.
Yeah, that Tuesday was a very wet one. If you wanna speak on it, let me just think
Okay.
about. Yeah, okay. Mine starts at Tuesday, so I think that was probably immediately after we made this competition,
Fantastic.
and I think we
That
should
sounds good.
reveal this live on air for the breadheads.
I would like to as well. So, just so I'm clear on currency conversion, I'm not talking about pesos. I'm going to assign 1 point for every drink that I drank in the last week or so, and you're going to give 1 point for every 15-minute exercise increment. Whoever has the highest amount of points wins. Do you want to reveal your tally first?
I sure do. I'm just adding it up right now. One sec.
Oh, fast math. Eric's got the matrix code running through his pupils.
Okay, I got
He's
my
got that
number.
glazed over look, the one he gets in the vegetable section.
Yeah, I do. Um, Mine unfortunately is not a increment of 12.
Mm,
It is going to be a partial. It'll be a decibel number there, but I had 26 increments of 15
26.
minutes. Yeah,
Wow, that's a lot of exercise, Eric. You're
that is.
ripped.
Yeah, I missed like almost a whole week. But then like halfway through vacation I was like I got to catch up because I already know you're probably way ahead of me in alcohol consumed. So I was like, okay, I
Hmm.
got to start working out. So I did something every single day since then. But there was a gap between uh, Tuesday and Sunday where I didn't do anything. So you might have had to leg up on me on those days.
Yeah, I'm still pretty impressed though. Like if you did that consistently, like I'm plowing a lot of marks, but you're consistently that would be like 45 minutes a day. Very impressive.
Thank you.
You could eat a lot of footlongs in that time.
Hmm.
26. 26 points. Well, Eric,
Let's
I
hear
am
it.
proud to announce that I went with 54 points.
Shit.
Boom. 54 drinks,
Wow.
baby. That's like 8 drinks a day.
Oh shit. Yeah, you really went in. So you win this round tie. And I'm just trying to think like is 15 minutes equivalent to one crushable Trader Jose?
I'm not really sure if we made this a fair contest because those things run in at like 4%. But
Mhm.
I will tell you that the Canadian government recommends 2 beers a week for a man of my stature. And I came in at 54.
2 beers a week?
Hmm.
What are they recommending? It's like just enough to make you like want to go back to work. You know what I mean? It's like just enough for you to like detach from work and then be like, okay, Monday I can go back. Is that what that is?
Hmm. Yeah, I think if I went down to 2 beers a week, I would suffer a greater pain than if I drank 54 every week.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking too.
Hmm.
At a certain point, you need them to stay alive, right?
Hmm. Especially in this economy.
Hmm. Interesting, Ty. Now that I'm thinking about it, we should have probably done it based on percentage of alcohol. It's like
Hmm.
if you drink a beer that is 5%, that means I have to work out for 5 minutes or something.
Right. Whereas, like, I had a few, like, full glasses of, like, 50% mezcal at a point or two,
Oh,
you
shit.
know? That shit gets up there and it tastes bad.
Hmm. Hmm.
Tastes
Yeah,
like
if you get a
secondhand
shot
smoke.
of, yeah, the mezcal is smoky for sure. If you down a glass of the cheap bottom shelf mezcal on the beach from the beach bar, the
Hmm.
Playa bar,
Hmm.
then I would do an hour at the gym for you. I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair too.
Oh,
Well, this concludes round one of the competition. I would love to inverse roles next time you hop on a jet.
mm-hmm.
Except
54. That's pretty
instead of
insane.
doing exercise, I want to eat 1 inch of foot long for every drink you
Oh
drink
shit!
on vacation.
Wow. There's no way that you'll beat me. Like that means you have to like leave your house to go to Subway, and we don't even want to do that. Where it's like I actually
That's
genuinely
true.
want to go to play tennis. Can I give you the breakdown of what I did? Because it's pretty consistent.
Sure, we'll entertain that for a few minutes.
Yeah.
For the breadheads,
I
jump
mean,
ahead in the timestamp 3 or 4 minutes.
yeah. So Ty, on Tuesday I played an hour of tennis, and then I hit to the gym for 30 minutes. That was a big day. I did an hour and a half. I was like, I gotta start on a good note here. Then from then on out, hour gym, hour hike, 30-minute gym sesh, an hour of tennis, and then yesterday I did another marathon, hour and a half of tennis. That's it. That's 6.5 hours only.
That's still pretty good. I'm impressed. I
Yeah,
didn't move that much. I went
the
from
dog in
pool
me
to
is
bed to
disappointed.
pool to bed.
Pool to bed, and the pool's right outside.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of roll into it.
Hmm. Roll into it. You didn't have to jump a fence to get into it, much like when, much like when people are immigrating.
Yeah. Turns out once you're already in Mexico, you don't have to jump that many fences.
Come on in. It's free.
The only fences I was trying to jump was the jumping around the language barrier. All because the only
Yeah.
words I know are hola and gracias. So I
Mm.
get
It's not
really
true. You know
tired of
Api?
saying hola and gracias. I know I am not the champagne padre I thought I was.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, well, after a few drinks, because I went to a all inclusive not long ago, and that was my first time, and I think like there's like a constant buzz, like the entire day you're kind of just like day drunk, and
Hmm.
I end up calling people Poppy that have no place being called that, and probably
Mm,
are very annoyed by it because it's all a bunch of white drunk tourists like me calling them
right,
Poppy,
right.
and then like sliding a $1 bill in their pocket.
Damn, yeah. Other gringos love that type of stuff, though. You know,
Oh, absolutely.
that's how
Based
they
on the
connect.
laugh you just gave me, I know for a fact that they like it.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
like it. Um, but I wasn't in an all inclusive area. I was in a null inclusive, meaning I just had a condo on the beach, but I was surrounded by gringos and surrounded by the amenities of an all inclusive
Hmm.
resort because it was a beach town. It had a large tourism sector, but the tourism was really niche. I should reveal to you that it was a nude beach with a lot of nudists frequenting the playa.
Hmm. Hmm.
And nudity attracts a certain type of tourist demographic. I'll try to explain it to you. There's only three groups of people that go on vacation to a nude beach
Three groups.
that I was able to observe in Mexico.
Okay.
Full Mexican families, probably coming from inland. They just want a day at the beach, but they like to be naked with their family. I think that's weird. French people.
uh, define family. Is it like a couple, or is it like mom and dad? Or is it with the kids? It's very
Oh, it's
different.
with the kids. The kids are playing in the waves. They're all wrestling together in the sand.
Oh,
They're
it's fine. The kids,
it's
that doesn't even count.
hmm You don't see
The
many
kid,
like children like it's like 4 and under. They're like barely humans yet. So it's
yeah, abortion
kosher.
is still legal for some of those kids in some states.
Hmm. Like Fogel wouldn't be allowed near the beach, but like
Hmm.
for everyone else, it's fine.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, your North American style is showing, Thai, because I can see why the French go there. You know, what I mean, in Europe, women are topless anyway, and that's a
Hmm.
normal beach, not even the nude beach. It's a lot of carnitas swinging around.
Hmm. A lot of coconuts and mangoes and all sorts of other fruit shapes. Yes,
Hmm.
the French love to be naked, but it wasn't Europeans there. It was specifically the French. So something about them just crave that type of environment.
Hmm. Yeah, there must be something against like tan lines over there.
Mm,
That could be it.
hmm
Yeah. Did you
The
see anyone with
pursuit of.
like coconuts, like cut out coconuts, like on their chest?
I did see one woman fully naked on the beach. She had two coconuts in her hand, holding them over top of her coconuts, and her boyfriend was taking a photo of her by the water. I thought
Oh,
it was
awesome.
such an iconic moment.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Do we know for a fact that that is her boyfriend? Because it could be very legal otherwise.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, it could be a hired hand.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Wonderful, Ty. Well, sounds like you had a great time.
Don't you
Were
want to
there
know the
any?
third category? The third
Oh, yes.
category of
I'm so
vacationers?
sorry. So
No,
sorry.
it's
Please
okay.
continue. You.
Old gay men.
Oh.
And me.
Amazing. So, yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And how do you know they're gay? It's just two dudes fondling each other's nuts on the beach.
Yeah, dude, they're hanging low. They're men like gay men have well, gay men have like more toned asses than straight men generally. So that's like a
Hmm.
tell.
Hmm. Why do you think that
But
is, Ty?
also the holding of the hands and the kissing is a tell.
Why do you think their asses are more toned? Can you double click on that for me? What makes you say that?
I'm just this is hypothetical. I'm just thinking out loud, Eric. I'm making some
It's just
assumptions based off of lifestyle.
simply an observation.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But I did learn so much about the male anatomy this week, Eric, and uh, there's a whole spectrum of different types of humans. I will say general observation, the uglier you are, the more likely you're going to take your clothes off on the beach. Um,
Look at me.
yeah, but that doesn't necessarily correlate to like penis size. There was this one guy, I call him like Daddy Long Schlong, and he was such an old man. He was I think he was pushing like 85, and he would wander, but would have that big ass bat swinging, and I was like, damn, that might be like an actual foot long.
Shit. Wow. Footlong on soft? That's crazy.
Yeah, right?
Holy
Untoasted.
shit. Wow. So interesting. And when you see this kind of behavior on the beach, do you think like what is your first reaction? Like you're like are you like I gotta get out of here? Or do I have to go, find some excuse to hit the bar? Um, or are you like, you know what, maybe I'm gonna partake. I'm on vacation. Let's just go to this corner so that my family doesn't see me and just lay there with my buns out.
Hmm. Well, Eric, if you know me, there's two things I'm very fond of. One is skinny lattes, and the other is skinny dipping. But
Oh shit.
don't, I don't, it's, if I'm gonna be real with you, there's such a, like, we have such a culture of objectification, it, that it's hard to, like, de- like detach sexualization from the naked form. So there's something
Mhm.
kind of perverse about naked people because of our tendency to sexualize it. But after spending a week on a nude beach with people that have no interest of sexualizing the naked body, they just want to lay in this tan and have no tan lines on their junk or boobs. And it like really helped me like rebuild my, I guess, like relationship with the human form, you know?
Mhm,
And
mhm,
I think that would be better if we had more nude beaches so that we could have more people like have a different type of relationship with a naked human body than just like a sexual one. And I think it would
mhm,
generally be good for society. It would make people a lot less weird and perverse.
mhm. I 100% agree. The weird thing about Vancouver is like the one nude beach here is like really secluded, and it's like really difficult to get to, and there's only one. So it's like
Hmm.
the people who are willing to go there are like are just love the novelty of it, and so they just like act like complete buffoons, right? It's like people doing cartwheels while they're naked. It's like, do
Hmm.
we really need to do that? It's like you're here for the attention. Where it's like in places like that, it's like people just like hanging out. It's like I don't want to be in clothing. I'm in clothing all the time. When I go to work, I have to wear clothing. I just want to be at home on the beach, just fully nude, and it's awesome. And
Hmm.
I think just because we have like one place like that here, it's like still novel. But if you have like more than one, it begins to become more normal.
Hmm. Hmm. It's kind of like sauce in your sandwich, you know? Like the more you put sauce is like a band-aid, and clothes are kind of a band-aid too. Clothes cover up the imperfections of our body. They make us feel secure. So as you strip away the sauce, as you strip away the shirt and the undies, there's an aspect of like confidence and an aspect of just like comfort that one needs to have, or one society needs to have, to go ultimately sauce free.
Yeah, exactly. The less ingredients you have in your sub, the more noticeable each ingredient becomes.
Hmm. So that's why you really want those greenwash spinach leaves. I had this weird thought that like maybe Subway's dyeing their vegetables like more
Oh.
colored than their colors. Because sometimes you go in and you're like, oh, that's some pretty luscious green lettuce. Are they literally greenwashing them, or is it fresh?
Mhm,
Because it doesn't taste
mhm,
fresh, and it's usually not fresh. But why is this
mhm.
green?
Yeah, that's a good point because customers always prioritize VOCs, vegetables of color,
Mm-hmm.
and so therefore they want the vegetables to appeal to more people.
Mm-hmm. Precisely. Um, and like if you're familiar with the rainbow diet, it's all about diversity of color in the sandwich. We all value
Mhm.
diversity. So
Hmm.
the more like r- rainbow, the greater the spectrum of the footlong, the more it will be celebrated, and the more you will be like seen as someone who celebrates diversity. It's actually like, wow, that's really interesting. Actually, is that why vegetarians are so like annoying? Are they just doing that for social clout?
Mm, I thought so. I truly thought so before I met you.
Mm. The same reason all beer drinkers have denounced brown ale. It's the pursuit of the color spectrum. See the world more vividly.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I've never met a craft beer enjoyer that didn't like talking about it. Same as like
Hmm.
a vegetarian who doesn't like talking about it. You know what I mean? There's
Hmm.
a spectrum there as well. It's like there's some vegetarians who are gonna tell you immediately, and then there's some who is like they can't wait for you to ask.
Yeah, I like to think that I'm
We know
neither.
well
Just so you know, I like to
enough. Okay.
I like to run under the radar. I don't want anyone to know for as long as possible because talking about vegetarianism is the same as like being a dog owner, Eric. You just have the exact same conversation with everybody every single time the topic comes up.
Hmm.
It's like, oh,
Hmm.
how long have you been it for? What does that mean? You eat this or that? Oh, why did you do it?
Yeah.
Who cares? It's just
Mhm.
food.
Do you pick up the shit or do you leave it?
Yeah. How old's your dog? What breed is it? What's its name?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I was on a work meeting today, Ty, and I was like talking about something, and one person went off mute and then started screaming, "Winston, Winston!"
No.
I was like, "What?" And then everyone started laughing, and then she said, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. My dog just ate something." I was like, and then everyone's like, "Oh my god, please continue." I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck I was saying, but maybe Winston knows.
Damn.
Yeah, I was like,
Winston
wow.
Zoom bombed the call.
Yeah, derailed the whole meeting, and I was like, you know what? I think Winston's got a point. No one wants to hear what I have to say anyway. Let's just end this meeting.
Yo, imagine someone goes off mute and all you hear is like tomato,
I
a little more pickle. Could I get a little more pickle? Green peppers.
Oh yeah, just a little bit more pickle. God damn it.
Cucumbers.
Some meatballs.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's good right there.
Not just the
A
sandwich.
little bit more mayo. Put squirt
Hmm.
some more mayo, please. Oh God.
Hmm. More mayo, more pickle.
Can you put the mayo on the pickle?
Damn, footlongs are so phallic.
Footlongs are phallic. Um, they're truly twisted things, Ty. But one twisted new thing that I want to talk about is this like footlong chip. Have you seen this
Footlong
thing?
chip.
I
Yeah,
think
I've
you
seen
sent it
this
to
thing. So yeah. So Subway official has dropped
me.
the largest Lay's chip I've ever seen. A collaboration with Big Lay's.
Hmm.
Um, a 12-inch by 2-inch potato chip available exclusively at one random Subway in Texas.
Unbelievable. It's kind of like I like to think of that subway location as like Prada Marfa.
That's
It's like
literally what I thought.
oh boy, because it's like yeah, it's a Prada store, but no, it's like it's in a weird place in Texas.
Hmm.
It's like same thing with this. Like there's got to be Prada Marfa exclusive stuff, right? This chip is
Hmm.
exclusive to Subway Texas.
The foot chip. So I think the foot chip, Eric, was designed to like go in the sandwich, right? Like it's
Of
the
course.
same square footage.
Hmm.
So they clearly Subway clearly either listens to this podcast or acknowledge the grassroots trend of cracking the bag of Lay's and having the sandwich artist sprinkle it on.
Hmm.
So I think they're over engineering this though by playing into the chip because first bite of that chip, it's gonna crack to pieces and it's gonna be just like eating a bag of chips on it anyways. So the R&D on this
Hmm.
is entirely for the buzziness of it, to the
Hmm.
memification of the idea. but I don't see it actually being a viable option unless they ditch the pack. All they need to do is they just need to get Lay's in bulk, pour it into a bucket on the line, and offer it as an additional sauce or vegetable. Do you want like a handful of crushed up Lay's?
Interesting take. Um, but I do appreciate the whole marketing strategy of it being like a footlong shape because it kind of plays into the whole systemification of all the ingredients in Subway Thai. You know, we talked about already about how everything kind of like fits together like a little puzzle. Well, this
Mm-hmm.
chip is like just the fucking end cap of all things. You know what I mean? But it makes you wonder: is there a 6-inch version?
Oh. Or does the sandwich artist like try to snap it in half live in front
Hmm.
of you? You might get a
Wow.
9-inch chip, you might get a 3-inch chip.
Mhm. I think they just hold it in front of you, the user, and then you gotta karate chop it in half. Oh
That could
boy.
be it.
I don't know. I think this is better, but you're right. As soon as you like fucking put any sauce on it, it's gonna like melt.
Oh, any weight at all, really. The act of, because in order to cut the sandwich in half, the sandwich artist goes through this squishing ritual where they take their elbow and they push the sandwich into the table, make it as flat as
Hmm.
possible.
Hmm. Compressed.
That would
There's
destroy
smashed
any.
burgers.
Hmm.
There's smashed burgers and there's compressed Subway sandwiches. They're two very different things.
It's true. Uh, the compression is great for the density of the chew. You can get more sandwich in your mouth at once, more down
Hmm.
the throat. You can absorb caloric energy faster.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, it's true. Do you hope that this innovation makes its way across all Subway locations? Are you looking forward to trying this thing? Are we going to use our blend jet bucks to fly down to Texas and try this thing? That'd be a fun way to use our earnings. The
Hmm.
think
Hmm.
bank has is ready to be withdrawn from Ty. How do we use this money?
Yeah, I think we check in, like, take the money out of the coffer, get into the economy class of South by Southwest jet,
Oh
and
shit! South by
head.
Southwest.
Dude,
Beautiful.
everything's big in Texas, and that includes the potato chips.
Hmm. I can't think of a better way to use all these millions, Ty, because we could fly there on business class. That
I'm
would
looking
be.
forward to that.
It's just that
I'm
Texas
actually
has nothing else to offer except for Joe Rogan. So I don't know if we could even go. Like, why would we?
I'm racking my brains rapid fire to think of something else Texas offers, and I got nothing for you.
Mhm.
So you might be
The
right.
Dallas
I think
Mavericks.
Texas has some crazy gerrymandering, so I'm pretty sure it's like the like role model for like political questionable political decisions.
Dude, I'm
Um,
already snoozing over here just listening to you talk about that.
yeah, yeah. Right, skip ahead another 45 seconds. But actually, Eric, I'd like to retract my comment about crushed chips in a bucket. Okay, I'm going to tell you why.
Horrible idea.
I'm
I
on
wasn't gonna
Team
tell
Big
you
Chip
that.
with you. I'm on Team
Exactly.
Big Chip, and here's why.
Okay.
I visited. Have you ever heard of Bulk Barn?
Bulk barn. This gives me
Mm,
flashbacks to my deli days when I picked up a shift at the bulk section.
yeah. Well, it's kind of like the bulk section. I don't know if Bulk Barn is available in America for the American listeners, but don't worry, American listeners. I'm pretty sure every grocery store in America operates this way. Um,
Mhm.
Basically, it's an entire store that is just like the bulk section at the grocery store. Buckets upon buckets of different types of seeds, baking products, candies, anything you can buy in bulk, they have it, but in a far larger bucket. And I have never been to it except for about a week ago, right before I left to Mexico. And Bulk
Wow.
Barn is so interesting, Eric, because it's kind of like Subway. It's just a bunch of buckets filled with different stuff that you could kind of combine together if you want to make a snack mix, a candy bowl, a muffin.
Candy bowl. Holy fuck, dude. the most offensive thing you've said to me today. A candy bowl.
You don't want to make a candy bowl like it's
Oh my god.
Halloween or a house party. Perhaps you're
Ah,
having some friends over tonight for St. Veggie Patty's Day, Patrick Owens
Saint
Day.
Saint Veggie Patrick's Day. Wow. Shout out to Patrick, the
Hmm.
saint.
What a saint. Um, okay, so I go into Bulk Barn. I'm perusing the
Okay.
aisles. I can't remember why I was there, but I can tell you the only thing I left with was some spicy jalapeno Cheetos that I saw. And
Ooh.
I
In
was
bulk.
craving a little bit of fuego, so I thought
Hmm.
I would dabble. I scoop about a few hundred grams
Hmm.
spicy Cheetos into a bag. I pay for it at the counter by weight. I think
Hmm.
it cost $1 Canadian.
Hmm.
And then I go to the vehicle, the same vehicle I'm recording in today, and I take a bite of the Cheeto, and that shit was stale. It was so stale. And I thought,
Oh,
of course it's stale. It's just an open aired bucket of Cheetos. This Cheeto could have been here for weeks.
what a miss.
What a
What a
miss.
miss. Yeah,
So
dude.
bulk Yeah,
Yeah,
bulk barn's
bulk
strength
is
is
not
also
it.
its weakness. And this would be the same fate for a bucket full of potato chips on the
Hmm.
line at Subway.
Hmm. I mean, we all know that the only reason why the bulk section exists is for you to sneak a little bite. So I'm hoping that you walked around sampling all of the different types of Cheetos before you committed to that one. But it sounds like you didn't, because if you had done that, you would have realized how bad they were.
Hmm. Yeah, sampling is so important. This is why Subway needs sampling. Like Subway could be a little bit more risky with their selection if they allowed the customer to try before they buy. They
Mhm,
could bring in some like new ingredients that customers aren't going to just gravitate to unless they have an opportunity to learn about them a little bit, try them.
mhm, mhm. When you said like sampling, it reminded me of the story I told you when I went to a deli in New York and I got a sandwich and they, give you a little pastrami to try. And I love that. And then it got me thinking, Ty, last episode of The Bachelor, they went to like almost the same place, and the dude had like a sandwich that was like beef tongue or something, and it was like a huge stack of meat. And the guy was like, his face, he's like, I can't believe this bitch brought me here. But then he was like, oh, it's pretty good. And I was like, see, he just tried it and he likes it. Subway could offer beef tongue on their menu.
Damn. I would love to French kiss some cattle at Subway.
Dude, French kissing cattle it's the move, man. Bison tongue, also very good. It's got like a little spongier texture,
Hmm.
but it's very good in kind of like a sliced format, I would say. So really good for sandwiches.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like tofu, my guy.
It,
So,
yeah, honestly.
what's your favorite tongue?
um,
Do you
I
have a
want to say,
favorite tongue?
yeah, I want to say that my favorite tongue is yours, Ty. No, no homo. I'm
Well, this
so
tongue
happy I
can
get to
speak.
talk to you twice a week.
Now, this tongue can speak barely one language. No hablo español, though.
Hmm. Wonderful. Well, you can speak the language of podcasting, and I truly think is a different language because me and you will talk for like an hour before recording, and it doesn't sound like this. I'll tell you that much.
Mm-hmm. You definitely, when I see that blinking red light in the booth, I tap into this like feral energy. It's that same
Hmm.
hunger, Eric. That same hunger that triggers inside me when, like, the words cheese and toasted are the blinking red light of the subway.
Hmm. Hmm. There's like some kind of like primal like gut reaction when I see that blinking red light, and I gotta say my blood's boiling right now. My heartbeat is at 200, and I'm ready to fucking give you some takes.
Dude, that sounds so toasty.
Oh hell yeah, bro. What else are we gonna talk about today, Ty? How did you escape the cartels? I have to know. I couldn't
Oh
even reach
wow,
this guy.
I actually almost didn't make it out of Mexico in time for this episode. Aero
Well,
Mexico. I was supposed to go through Mexico City, and uh, the airline delayed my flight so much that I had a 9-minute layover,
Oh
and there
yeah.
was no way I was gonna. Yeah, that's not enough time. I can't even build a Subway sandwich in 9 minutes with the how slow the artist's hands move. So you imagine
Hmm.
like how slow the TSA moves. But um, because of that, I was in a position where I was going to be stuck overnight in Mexico City,
Oh
and which could have been cool, but then I would have been on a flight all day today, and I would have missed this podcast, and I couldn't let that happen. I did not want to let you, the breadheads, and you, Eric, my wonderful
hmm
co-host, down. So here's what happened. I had met another couple in the security lineup, fellow gringos. They were, turns out they were from my LP's hometown. So we had something in common. They
Oh
were able to, upon flight delay, make arrangements to get on South by Southwest jet, fly in direct to Vancouver. When they found out about my podcast predicament, they were so lenient. They said, "Hey, I think they actually were flexing a bit of like parental muscle. They were older, and they felt like they needed to care for us. They said, "Just take our seats." And I said, "Bet,
no.
okay." So they took the overnight stay in Mexico City to hop on a flight this morning to come home to Vancouver, and I got to
Wow.
fly nonstop and made it back in time for this epi baby. So the cartels tried to keep me hostage. They were going to pin me down, but I said, no, I'm jumping this wall at 30,000 feet, baby. Um,
Hmm.
I'm I'm heading back north. What's the weekend song about flying north? Escape from
Oh,
LA. There's a lyric in there
I
somewhere
don't know.
that I'm thinking about. Doesn't matter. Here we
Doesn't
are.
matter. That's amazing. So, did you try to just like take their boarding pass? Or like how did that work? Or did you go talk to a, trustworthy Southwest agent?
I had a conversation in broken English and broken Spanish with
Oh,
a check-in associate, and my adopted parents at the terminal overheard the conversation, stepped in, and did what good parents do, which is they resolved it for me by giving me the seats on their flight.
so they just said, "Hey, take this. Here's our boarding pass.
Literally,
Just
they're
have
just
it."
like, yeah, just take my ticket. We'll take your shitty ones.
Wow.
I know, and I'm so grateful for them. I told them I'd
Yeah.
buy them dinner if I ever see them again.
Perfect. Never will. That's a fascinating story, Ty. Faith in humanity restored.
I know, I
Um,
know.
that sounds like you could have gotten scammed really easily. Because I'm thinking like, maybe your hotel was legitimate and they were able to take it, but those boarding passes were not, and you could have gotten
Mm.
arrested, Ty, for using a fake boarding pass on a plane.
You never know what's going to happen.
Hmm.
Mexico is a fairly, it's not a lawless society, but it's more of a ask for forgiveness than permission kind of
Hmm.
space.
Hmm. I think it's more of a lawful evil, if you ask me. I don't know if you remember when they stole my sandwich
Oh,
when I
yeah.
crossed the
No,
border into Mexico.
dude, airports are lawful evil. They're so
Oh yes,
lawful and so evil. They are the definition of that term.
but
Where does Subway
exactly.
fall on the moral axis?
I think they're like lawful good, probably, or maybe chaotic good. I'm not sure. But like, I think Mexico in general is just lawful evil because like the cartels are legal. Like they work with the government, and if you like
Mhm.
try to like step on each other's toes, it's like it's warfare. So it's
Yeah,
like there's like an understanding there that it's just this is happening and you're not going to do anything about it. So
for sure.
I don't
It's
know.
their church and state.
Exactly.
Or Subway's
Hmm.
cream based and oil based sauce. Trying to make them
Both,
mix, but
yeah,
they can mix, but they're two different entities.
yeah. It's the Church of Cocaina.
Hmm. Yeah. What else can
Wonderful.
I tell you about my experiences in Mexico, Eric? I rode a scooter, vroom vroom, a little
You love
Vespa,
renting scooters on vacation.
scoot scoot
Oh, it
scoot.
wasn't
Yeah,
okay. It wasn't a Lime scooter. It was an actual electric motorized scooter or something.
yeah, an Italica motorized scooter, and
Wonderful.
Navigating Mexican roadways comes with its challenges. The biggest challenge is because they don't have any infrastructure in or processes in place to enforce speed. They just add speed bumps every like 50 meters, and they don't mark any of them. They call them topes. So you're like heading down the road on a scooter, and then suddenly turn a corner tope, or you go down a hill tope, you're like behind a vehicle and then the vehicle just bumps and you're like, oh shit, a tope, and you got to just hit the brakes on that and hope you don't fly off, because if you hit that tope at any speed, you're getting bucked off it like you're at like at a
Wow.
country bar on the bull.
Wow, that sucks, man. That really does.
Yeah, it does. So that's, I think
Shit.
that's why there's
Well,
so many toned asses on the beach from all the tope bumps.
right. They're just getting pounded in the ass, right?
Yeah.
Which category of people was that again? Is that group three?
Oh, that was the old gay couples.
Exactly. Okay, good. Wonderful. So, yeah, dude. I remember when I was in Mexico driving around, there was like a pickup truck of like looked like a SWAT team. They're just like in the pickup holding like rifles, and I'm like, holy fuck, bro! Like, I do not want to be on either side of this drug war in Mexico. It's not something I want to do at all. This was in
Mm-hmm.
Cancun, probably a more like busy place compared to where you were. Your place sounds more peaceful and nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a love thy neighbor type of town. It's not as
Love thy neighbor's
Cancun as the
cheeks.
Mayan Riviera.
Yeah. Yes, that is true. So, where you were, where is that exactly in Mexico? Without me having to open Google Maps.
So I was in the state of Oaxaca. So you've probably had
Oh.
Oaxacan food or Oaxacan cheese. It's like the south by southwest corner of Mexico,
Oh, yes, I see what you're saying. So it's on the Pacific side of things.
Pacific side. Correct.
Wow, how beautiful. That's
Mm-hmm.
really nice. Yeah, so I was in like the opposite side. It's all
Yeah,
making sense now. How
I'll be
wonderful,
actually
Ty.
I'll be in Cancun next month. I have to go there for a wedding,
Oh
so
shit, you're going
I
back to
will
Mexico?
back to back, baby. So I kept a few
Yeah.
pesos in the wally to
Wow.
return with round two. It's like the Hangover 2, you know. It won't be as good as
Wow.
the first one, but there'll be some different stories to tell.
Nice. And your tooth will be fixed by then, hopefully.
I hope so.
Nice. So, Breadheads, I don't know if you caught that, but no episode in a month.
Yeah, we can all take a
1 month
vacation
from
that time.
now, we're taking another month off. Awesome, Ty. Well, I'm trying to plan some vacations of my own. It's been very difficult because I don't know how much vacation time I have, really. You know, when you're podcasting, every minute is billable.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if I can take some time off this summer and go back to Europe and hopefully give you some stories as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Eric. I want you to Euro poke around a little bit in some of the Mediterranean countries
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
take the flavors and influences and inspirations of the cuisine there and bring it back to the meats and sauces sections of Subway.
Mm-hmm.
Teach
Exactly.
me a thing or two.
I'll try. I'll try to go back to the roots of the Italian herbs and cheese.
Hmm.
Figure out exactly what they were thinking when they tried to combine herbs and cheese. It's kind of wild if you think about it.
Damn, yeah. I would love to see the Subway test kitchen. I bet they have like
Oh fuck.
real herbs and like an actual like wheel of cheese. And they're like, yeah, this is gonna be just like in the stores.
Mhm. Wow. And then the game of telephone just destroys any idea of what the Italian dream is, really.
Hmm.
Horrible.
I guess
Horrible, horrible, horrible.
I guess to make anything mass marketable, you have to dilute the essence of it down to a toasted crumb of its former glory.
Hmm. Yeah, probably. I mean, even the Tex Mex bread tie. Now that it got me thinking, are they doing like some kind of transition from Italian food to Tex. This footlong chip business is maybe the beginning of the conspiracy theory tie, or actually the Tex-Mex bread would be, and then this is like a follow-on.
Yeah, dude, Subway's really going south, and I mean that literally.
It's going
Although
south.
I didn't see any maxi bread that was reminiscent of the Subway Tex-Mex bread. So I'm starting to think the Tex-Mex bread is just Tex bread. There's no Mex there. I don't know where they're getting the Mex from.
Hmm. So similar to all of the failed podcasters that are moving to Austin,
Hmm.
Subway is also doing the same thing, hoping to revive their career.
Well, I feel like Texas is the only place left in North America that still has an appetite.
What do you mean?
Everyone else is like slimming up and skimming down on portions. They're like they eat a side salad in there. They're full, or they have a liquid lunch. Just a in this
Just to
economy,
feel.
maybe all they can drink is a like a pint of Guinness. You see, but in Texas, an oil-rich country, the tech boom is happening there. They, I don't know, they got a lot going on. Did I just call them a country, a state? Excuse me, I'm riffing.
We're riffing here. Oh, buddy. Um, One last thing before we go, Ty. You before you went on your vacation, you very graciously dropped off a jar of pickles at my place.
Oh yes, the pickles.
And I want to talk to you about these pickles. These were the best pickles I've ever had in my life, Ty. They were so strong. Did you leave them too long in the pickling juice? Because this was a kick to the dome.
Dude, I know those pickles are intense. The funny thing is the pickling juice is the juice. You don't change the juices. Once that jar is sealed, it ain't getting cracked until first pickle touches tongue.
Well, of course, of course. What I mean by that is like you have to leave it in that mixture, that whatever that is.
Hmm.
Clearly, I don't do this. You leave it in there for like a month or something, and then that's what makes it a pickle, right?
Right,
What
right. So
that
you're
that
saying like,
month time frame? Maybe it was supposed to be 3 weeks, and you did it for 6 weeks.
yeah, I get what you're saying. So the fermentation fluid, the pickleback water, has been fermenting the cucumber for too long. Did I lose you there?
My brother, yeah, you cut out for a good 5 seconds.
That's okay. I never answered your question yet. I was ranting. I was setting myself up. Yes, I think the average pickling time for a proper cuke is maybe 6 months, 7 months. I don't. Breadheads are gonna like annihilate me in the comments. All the like pickling hobbyists and pickling Pinteresters probably have a more specific answer, and it's probably different per cuke varietal. But those ones are we're pushing 1 year. They're an aged pickle. They're like uh, a nice merlot. So extra
Okay.
rich.
Okay. And so, is it possible then to leave a pickle in there for too long? Like it'll get like too juicy, if you can even imagine what that's like.
King, what's going on here? Our Wi-Fi's dying.
Or Wi-Fi's dying. It's probably you, considering you're hotspotting in the car. Um,
Dude, I've had 5 bars this whole time. I think this is Anchor's way of telling us that it's time to kick the vegetable bucket.
it's possible. I haven't gotten that cursed Zoom notification yet that says your connection's unstable. So
Mm,
it could be you, Ty. Who knows? But I did
it might
notice
be
that if
me.
I walk by my microwave with my headphones on, it cuts out. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, dude. I don't. That's why I don't have a microwave in my house. I do not trust those machines one bit.
I hate microwaves. I want to throw mine out.
Me too. Well, I
Yeah,
did.
it
I don't
came
have
with the
one.
place. I don't know, these brand new high tech, smart. mini homes
Mm,
all have fucking microwaves, and I hate them so much. But it is what it
dude,
is.
no, get rid of it. You'll get an extra shelf. You can put a few wine glasses on it or store pickles there.
You're right. It can become my pickling command center.
Whoa. I'll tell you though, you once you get rid of your microwave, your family members will constantly try to gift you microwaves at like Christmases or special occasions because they're like, man doesn't have a microwave. He must need a microwave. I've had to actively reject microwaves being given to me ever since I denounced the wave.
Oh, dude, you know exactly what I've been going through. Then it's so annoying because my old apartment did not have a microwave, and never needed one. No one needs one, but people are like, "What? You don't have one? Like, I have to give you this microwave," and it's like, dude, fuck off. I don't want it. And I had to go through the same thing with an air fryer. People kept wanting to give me air fryers. And I literally had to say, I'm anti air fryer to them. And then they still got us one. And I was like, I I hate this because I have to say thank you, you know?
Yeah. You don't have the square footage for an air fryer in your apartment. Neither do I. No one really has enough space for one.
That's true. Ty, I think our audio is gone south by subway. So it's time to. I think it's time to hit stop.
Yeah. It's
and
the Wi-Fi equivalent of them playing closing time at the bar.
exactly. The green beer has run out, and it's time for you to take your party elsewhere. I don't care where, you just can't stay here.
And a podcast here. No, but I will go track down a
Exactly.
different green beer somewhere else. Starting now.
hmm Me too. Wishing you four leaves clovers of luck.
Hmm. I wish you four garlic cloves of luck as well, Eric. And to the breadheads, happy festivities. Uh, Party smart.
Will do. All right. See you later, buddy.
Ciao.
Ciao.